Did you know that a wedding has, well, multiple parts, but essentially there's a ceremony and a reception?
Yeah, the reception is first, right? When they receive you, and then you have.
I thought that, no. I
Oh, the
thought
reception is
the
after.
ceremony is first.
Ceremony.
Yeah,
first.
ceremony.
Yeah.
The ceremony is essentially where you say your vows, you take the pictures. That's where I guess the important people show up, because that's like the moment that, oh, you make us the bride and then the fucking things. Yeah. So I didn't know this.
Yeah.
So then I think we're planning on doing the ceremony somewhere, and then the reception in the parents' house.
Number 1, I do not cook for my husband. I only cook for my children. Number 2, I do not help him pay any bills. Number 3, I do not do his laundry. Number 4, he is responsible for replacing any of his essentials like soap, shampoo, anything like that.
What are the comments?
It is better to stay unmarried than marrying the wrong person. So let's go with the short story. What does she do? Well, Chris, I thought married, like having a wedding. A few months ago, I know you have gone on record saying you wouldn't want to have a wedding. So what has changed? Okay, so this was sent to us by a friend of ours, so we're gonna do a little reaction.
On 3.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Number 2. Number 1, I do not cook for my husband. I only cook for my children. My husband will be making his own breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Number 2, I do not help him pay any bills. So if he is short on the rent, on utilities, or anything like that, it is not my problem. I will not be helping him out. His job is to provide for his family, so I am not financially contributing to any of the bills. Number 3, I do not do his laundry. I have my own laundry and my children's laundry to do, so he could do his own. I won't help him put it away. I won't help him fold anything. That's his responsibility. Number 4, he is responsible for replacing any of his essentials like soap, shampoo, anything like that. He needs to go buy it himself. Even if I'm at the store, I will not be replacing it for him. If he needs new underwear, new socks, or anything like that, that's for him to do. I'm not going to do it for him. I'm not going to.
What do you think about that?
Well, why?
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't
What
make
are the comments?
it doesn't make sense. I don't know if it's satire. I don't know if it's. Let's take a look what the comments say. Let me go down. It is better to stay unmarried than marrying the wrong person. Let's observe a moment of silence for a poor husband. So let's go with the short story. What does she do? I don't understand if this is truly how she feels. What do you think about that?
I feel kind of bad, dude.
But it doesn't make it doesn't make sense. She's like, I'm not gonna help him pay any of the bills. If he's short on money, then it's his problem. But it's also gonna be your problem, because if he's short on rent money, what do you think is gonna happen? Where are you gonna live? Like, you guys are a team. You have kids together. You have a life together. How is it? Oh, it's your problem and not mine. It's like, what type of relationship is that? What type of marriage is that? Or about the laundry, like, it's like me and Claudia, we live together. We have no kids or whatever, but we just have a laundry basket. We throw laundry in, when it's full, you wash it. I don't pick out my clothes or separate mine with hers because I don't want to do hers. Like, it's absurd. The fact even to assume that.
I don't understand.
I don't know.
I don't understand.
That's crazy.
Especially when you like get married, because husband, right? You'd expect everything to kind of be, not so much down the middle, but dude, the way you care for someone is kind of, there's a balance there.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're not going to, he runs out of toothpaste. I'm not buying him toothpaste.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Even if I'm at the store.
Dude, I don't understand why anyone would get married if you're not even going to contribute to the marriage.
It's like one of those things. It kind of highlights what we've talked about in the past, where it's like everybody only goes, like, nowadays is only in it for themselves. Like, what can I get out of this relationship? What can I get out of this marriage? What's the point, right? Or having kids with somebody when you're not even willing to fucking do their laundry, like, and at the same token, like, if you fall short of something, I help you. It's like, and it's not like because I need to, but it's like, dude, like, why? I want to make your life easier. So if I'm at a store and I know that you're running low on soap, why would I not buy you soap if I know? Like I'm very conscious of that. Like, okay, my partner needs this, my woman needs that. It's like I want to make my partner's life easier, and I would like to believe that they want to do the same for me. But
Yeah, why would you want to make the
Yeah,
the life of your partner harder?
right, which is everything.
Especially when they're with you. If anything, because I think of how men, when they get home, like one of the biggest things that Andrew Tate says it all the time, for all the shit he says. Like, when I come home, I just want to be like at peace or
right.
relaxed. Like,
Yeah.
I want to come home to like this like sanctuary where I come home and I can just like,
Mhm.
But imagine this poor man gets to that. Like, nothing is done. There's nothing for him. Like, the clothes aren't done. But I mean, I don't know. I'll never understand unless they're like separated. Then at that point, okay, I get it, right? Like, I'm not gonna be buying my
Yeah.
guys toothpaste if we don't even live together. We
I
separated.
I agree for sure.
But if in another case, if you guys are together, like, why wouldn't you want to contribute? And I'm not even saying contribute because like you have to. It's just like, I don't know. In a relationship, it's all
want
about
to.
being selfless.
Yeah.
You want to be able to help the other person. And you ideally want to be in a relationship with someone who wants to do the same, right? We talked about that with Dr. Hasty all
Sure,
the time.
of course.
But the fact that you're not willing to have balance, you're not willing to contribute to the relationship, right? We talk about how it's not you versus me, it's us versus problems.
The problem, yeah.
It's like this is a problem that's now getting wedged in between you and your significant other.
Wow, sad.
I
I feel bad for the husbands, and obviously she's not the only one who thinks like that. There's gonna be somebody out there who's maybe not to that extreme, but yeah, it's like, well, that's his problem. The bills are his issue. This is that issue. Like, it's like, dude, like, what's the point of living with somebody, building a life with somebody, when you have to like split everything up and like, you do this, you do that, da, da, da. Don't bother me with that, because when shit hits a fan, what are you gonna do?
So let me ask you a question, because she says that she basically does everything for her and her kids. Does that mean that he does not buy the kids anything then?
Good question.
If his sole responsibility is just the house, right? And his own things, whatever the baby needs, I guess, is not his responsibility.
I mean, it sounds like he provides, so financially he needs to provide, and then with that money, I guess she uses it for the kids.
But she works or no? I need context.
Yeah, that's obviously not being disclosed in that, but shit doesn't sound like she does.
Yeah, I think to your point, man, I think that's just a combination that we face like nowadays of like people going into a relationship for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
And at this point, I don't even understand why. And I'm thinking like you have to be careful like who you date and like who you decide to put your in.
Be selective.
Because I mean, at this point, like if this is the person that you're gonna have children with, and this is how they're gonna be acting with whatever it is that you need as a family,
Yeah.
how long is this going to last? How long is this going to be able to?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
And the worst part is in all the stuff with technology and social media, like somebody with such a toxic and unhealthy view is able to go online, record herself, put out a message that is amplified by, through social media, where other young women will see this and be like, well, maybe this is a good way of kind of going through life and, being a partner. Maybe I need to be more like this. When it couldn't be further from the truth. So not only are you fucking sprouting out all that nonsense, but you're also now affecting other people, thinking, well, maybe this is how I should be. When obviously that's not the case. But are you teaching young women how to be like this? It's like, fuck, like it sucks.
Yes.
Because now they're gonna do the same thing to somebody else, right? And then because they think they heard it somewhere in a video, and they're like, oh, maybe this makes sense. Maybe I gotta be more like this. And it's like, no, bitch.
Yeah, I'm curious to see who that reaches when they're like, oh yeah, this is how relationships should be, and then now that's how they want to live their relationship.
I guess we'll see. But maybe we can now ask the audience, like people who are married, like, are there certain things that, like, how do you guys handle your marriage? Do you guys divide certain things? Yeah. Like, because to me, I mean, obviously I'm not married. You're engaged, so I guess maybe soon this will be your life. But like, I'd wonder, obviously people, we talked about finances, merging your finances makes a lot of sense to me. But what about other things? What about, housework? What about, cohabiting with your partner? Like, do your lives just become intertwined? Like, do you delegate? Hey, I do this, you do that. So for all the married couples out there who are in hopefully healthy relationships, let us know how you guys handle your day-to-day routine and your husband duties, wife duties, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, you had asked us earlier today. So you guys merging your finances or what?
I had asked her, yeah.
That was why. I see the video, but the video was more about just got engaged and the wedding planning. Maybe we should play that video too.
Yeah, okay.
Might as well, because that's how we started the conversation.
Yeah,
it's in
yeah.
the group chat.
Ah. It's crazy.
So then you saw this and you said, so you guys merging your finances or what? Or was that to something else?
Yeah. What was this? Yeah, because I saw the video and I'm like, because you guys are talking about wedding, getting married. So then I'm like, well, how does that translate to your relationship and your everyday life? So that's why I wanted to bring it up, because at this point you're engaged but not legally married, and then you were saying this about, like, I know you guys are planning or in the early stages.
Yeah, I was talking to her today before. I'm like, I want to know from now until whatever the potential wedding date is, which we're either aiming for Q4 of 2025 or Q1 of 2026. So next year, end of the year next year, or early the following.
Okay.
Depending on, the season, depending on like the weather, depending on like who's in town, what makes more sense. So we're planning that. But I told her today, I'm like, tell me from now until then, what are the things that we need to account for? So for instance, we're going on a trip next month.
Yeah.
That's something we got to, not so much about us, but so much of like accounting for when it comes to money.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
What needs to be contributed to that? Then we have the engagement party, right?
Okay.
What do we contribute to that? What does that look like? How much is that going to come out to? We bought tickets to go snowboarding and skiing, so it's like, is that even feasible? How many times are we going to go? Are we going to even go at all? If so, what does that look like? Any other miscellaneous things throughout the year, or our birthday as well? Are we going to do anything for our birthday?
Yeah.
And then bachelor party, bachelorette party. What's that going to look like? Is it going to be joint? Is it not going to be joint? What do we do?
Yeah.
The wedding, honeymoon.
Oh my God.
House. There's a lot of things, bro.
So then again, there's so many financial hurdles, right?
Seems like it.
Yeah. I don't want to say hurdle, but also, I get it. You don't have to do it, but it's, it's a nice thing, however you want to look at it. But those are financial things that you have to handle. Like, how do you guys are planning on tackling that together, right? Because you're a team. And so hence why, hey, are you guys merging your finances? She was like, oh, we haven't really talked about it. I guess that warrants a conversation between the two of you. How do you think you will want to proceed?
So yeah, we have an account already that we open, and that's just for like house stuff. So like whenever we need something in the house or something that's for us, we kind of like we'll take out of that. We haven't really been contributing lately, just because of everything else that's been going on. And I mean, imagine I had to fucking get the ring, and I guess I don't know what the fuck she's spending her money on. But regardless, the plan would be to contribute to that. And the conversation I had with her today is, I need to know what we plan on doing, how extravagant, I guess we can say, that we want it to be. That way we can start allocating money towards it. And granted, we are going to have some sort of financial help from our families, particularly hers, who has the needs to.
Okay.
To a certain degree, obviously, we're going to be doing. But to her point, she also says that once you get engaged and you're planning for the wedding, you're going to be getting a lot of gifts. People are going to want to contribute. They're going to want to help. Especially like, I guess when the wedding comes, you have like, well, you can either give us a gift, or we have a fund where it's like you want the house fund, honeymoon fund, things like that. So it's like, what are we going to have those funds allocated to?
Okay. What would you want? What would you want from me?
Money.
Give me money.
I need a lot of money. No, I mean, I don't know what we're going to be doing. But we are expecting to be helped out, and not for nothing. I mean, if we think about it, like she's the last one from the family to get engaged to get married.
Okay.
She's the girl. So, not to be like I'm chilling, but it's like, because at first I was like, no, like we can't afford this. So we got to make it make sense. But she's like, we're going to get help. Like, I'm the last one. Everyone's like going crazy. And I've gone to family parties and they're like, you're the youngest daughter. You're the last one. We're going to do everything. We're going to go all out. So with that in mind, it's like, okay, I know we're going to have support, right? But at the same time, I don't want to also take advantage. Like, I want us to be able to understand like what is required, what we're able to contribute, and what that's going to look like. So to that point, we were kind of talking about like, hey, I want to know like what the plans are. That way we know how much we should contribute. So then, worst case, we can offset whatever help that we do get.
Okay.
And how much that's going to look like is what we're going to be talking about. But I would assume that would then go into our joint account.
Okay.
And then from there, we'll determine how much of that we'll allocate to.
Okay, so to close off on that topic and then
Yes.
move back to what you were saying earlier. So you were thinking probably yours, hers, ours kind of concept
Yeah.
when it comes to finances,
I actually
right?
saw a video of Patrick but David that if we could find it, we could just kind of pop it in.
I like where we have your money, my money, our money. This is your money. You want to buy that Chanel purse? Buy it with your money. If I want to buy that purse for you, I'll buy it with my money so you know I bought it with my money. It's a form of I bought it with mine rather than our money, okay? If we have something that we're doing for our kids and ourselves, which is us, team us, this is our money. If you want to spend $50,000 on your nephew or your niece, you don't even need to ask me because you're using whose money? Your money. I noticed that minimize arguments to the point where no one's being judged. Create a portion, an account where you put money in where she can do whatever she does without asking you.
But essentially, yeah, he talks about how, we have our account together. That's about basically everything that we do.
Right.
But then you have your account and I have my account. If I want to buy you something, I'm going to get it from my account because I want to buy it for you.
Yeah,
right?
I see what you're
But
saying.
if we need to buy something, we'll just go into our account, which is
Okay.
why we have that account.
Makes
But
sense.
if you want to get me a gift, that would come out of your account, of
Right.
your own, because you want to. And I think that's what would make sense. And not only that, because I was telling her, because she's like, oh, we want to merge finance. I think you were the one that said that. But it's like, if I want to surprise her with something, it's like, she's going to see a fucking bill, or she's going to see like, the withdrawal of something. It's like, well, I can't even like surprise her. I mean, granted, I could put on a credit card. Now that I think about it. But at the end of the day, like if everything is together, you're going to be able to see everything. You lose that element of surprise and that like special.
Yeah.
At least that's how I am. Because people are like, oh, you're going to sneak around and like you're going to
No.
hide things. But it's like, no, dude, like I want to at least have some sort of independence, because also if I do want to buy something and if I do have my own money that's allocated, I'm saving for my own stuff, I should be able to.
Yeah,
If there is money to be allocated.
No, when I say join, meaning join the majority of your finances. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have some form of financial autonomy where you still have your personal account. She still has her personal account where every month you have a certain amount of money, whatever, how that works. And that's where whatever the fuck you want to do, you do with your own money, without having to answer to, your partner, oh, why you spend this money on that, like, no. I think you need some financial autonomy no matter what. So that's kind of what I'm saying. But I do believe that it makes only sense to have the majority of your finances merged, where rent, food, bills, all that stuff like that. At the end of the day, it's us, not just you or me. So that's what I meant by that when I was saying that. I love that. So to go back, because some people might listen to this and be like, well, Chris, I thought married, like having a wedding. A few months ago, I know you have gone on record saying you wouldn't want to have a wedding.
Yeah.
So what has changed? Because people, and even Claudia was like, so are you doing a wedding? I thought Chris was so against weddings. Like, what has shifted, if at anything? Well, clearly something has
You
changed.
gotta
your
find
mind.
like flashback videos to
Yeah.
like pump those up. Like,
fuck
I'm
the
not
way-
even gonna fuck
fuck
that. No, but dude, it's tough
Yeah.
because the thing is, and I was telling her today, like, cause she was talking about, like, I'm like, oh, I gave you the ring, you gotta give me a Rolex now. And I say it jokingly, but if she wanted to give me something nice, that would be
Yeah.
right. But dude, it's frustrating because I don't care about the ring, right? Like, she cares about the ring. Like, I don't love her more because I gave her the ring. I love her the same, or if not more, just because I'm with her and I choose to contribute to the relationship,
Yeah.
right? And I feel like that's what's important. But it almost feels like there's a little bit of pressure. There's a little bit of pressure, not so much on me, but it's just like, okay, she's the last one to get married. She's the girl. Everybody wants to do this and that. Blah, blah, blah. I get it. So it's almost like what can I say? Don't help us. Don't give us money. Because then I can be like, man, I'd rather that money, which is what I told her. I'd rather that money be contributed to the house. Like, have some
Right.
sort of roof, shelter, future.
Yes.
Where she's like, they're not going to.
You can't tell them where to spend their money
Bingo.
on. I think
So
that's how she worded it.
Bingo. That's exactly
Yeah.
what she said. So it's like, I have no say in this. What I would like for it is to make sense. I don't want to abuse it. I don't want to take advantage. I don't want to have something super extravagant, because to your point, I'm not like that. That would honestly make me feel uncomfortable. And if it's going to be an event that I'm in and it's about me, an engagement party, wedding, I want it to make sense with me.
Yeah.
I don't want to do something that it's not me. And I'll give you another example. The engagement party, we were kind of talking about like, oh, whatever. And she goes, man, we need to stick to a theme. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, what kind of theme? She goes, man, I really like the Italy theme. Like all these things, like look how pretty, this white and these blues. And she started showing me all these lemons, like limoncello, like these little shots. Imagine how cute it would be. You show up and everybody gets a little limoncello shot. And I'm like, you like limoncello?
I don't.
Fucking tastes like shit. I mean,
Garbage.
I see when you can have it. Okay, you
Yes.
have dinner, maybe have some pasta, something Italian inspired. You want to then have a little limoncello at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm not crazy about limoncello to the point where I want it at my engagement party.
Yes.
You know? And then she's like, oh my God, and look, she shows me a picture of this table with it's a white tablecloth and all these yellow lemons and flowers. And she goes, oh my God, look, it's like so Italian, you know, limoncello and all these lemons. And I'm like, I ask him, you like lemons like that? She goes, no, but it's part of the theme. I'm like, listen, dude, like, I don't care. First of all, I've never even been in Italy. Would I like to go? Sure. But not to the point where it's like, I want my event.
Yeah.
It's an event for us to have lemons and be about Italy. I've never been there. And I would like to go again, but never been there. I'm not Italian. We've never even gone together.
That's
She's
what I'm
been.
saying. Or maybe you guys met there or some kind of root cause where you like you have a cool story to it. But people are gonna show up. Yo, what's up with all the lemons? Cool.
Granted, it's pretty, it's clean. You think of Italy, you think of, oh my God, you know,
Elegant,
the water, it's elegant.
right,
Yeah, I understand that. But I also, for example, she's like, oh my God, and then for like snacks, we can have like these cute little cannolis. And I'm like, what else are we gonna have? Like, because it's part of the theme. And I'm like, yeah, I get that, but like, I don't like cannolis enough. Like, I don't need that. Like, I would rather have things that I want and I enjoy and somehow make it fit an elegant theme than to be forced to get things that I don't want because it's part of the theme, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I don't want anything that's supposed to be Italian inspired when I don't really care about it. So I'll give you another example. She was talking about like, oh, having these like cigars and things. And I'm like, okay, I like cigars. It's not so much Italian stuff. Like, I'm Cuban. Cubans have cigars. So like, okay, I get that. You know, that'll be cool. But to have like all these Italian inspired things and then be forced to have Italian inspired things when I don't even care for it, to me that didn't make sense.
Okay.
So those are certain examples where it's like, look, if we're gonna do something, you know, kind of tie back into what, you know, what causes. It's almost like, look, I get it, but I don't want to get things that are Italian inspired and spend money on shit that I don't even care about just because it's fitting this Italian inspired theme that you brought up. I'd rather us find something that we enjoy that makes sense and make it fit the budget and create that theme. Like just make it elegant, nice, and things that we enjoy. So it's like, those are the kind of conversations that we kind of navigate through. Because at first, you're right, I didn't really give a fuck, and I don't care.
Yeah.
And I was actually sending things to Christina about like all these things for the wedding and things. She goes, oh, you're getting like super into it. And I'm like, it's not that I'm getting into it. It's just that my algorithm's been poisoned. Like all I get is wedding stuff. And she's like, oh, but I see that like you're giving ideas and stuff. And I'm like, I'm playing defense, right? Like I know that you're going to throw something at me.
Yeah.
I want to be informed enough to know if it makes sense or not. You know, it's like, that's stupid. Or I found this instead.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm playing. I just want it to make sense. I don't want it to be over the top. I'm a very simple guy. And I just want it to be special, thoughtful, meaningful. And I don't think an Italian themed engagement party is meaningful to us.
All right. Yeah. So for her, it's back to the drawing board and to see kind of how she can.
She's had other ideas. And I think that she shared that because I think she was, when I told her that, she started looking at the pictures and she's like, I feel so stupid. Like, not in a bad way, almost like she started laughing because it's like, yeah, why do I have all these lemons on the table? Like, I don't know why this.
The thing is, sometimes you just need to hear it. Like does this make sense? Because you know, she's excited. Oh, I just got engaged.
Right.
All these little things, and I understand that 100% because it's kind of for her like a moment she's been waiting for a very long time.
Right.
So she's like, oh, for lemons, fuck, why not lemons, right? And you said like, and then you walk her through it, and then she's like, yeah, I feel kind of silly because. Yeah. Why do we want lemons? Yeah. Why did I want lemons to begin with? So it's like, yes,
So let me ask you, did you know that a wedding has, multiple parts, but essentially there's a ceremony and a reception?
Yeah, the reception is first, right? When they receive you, and then you have.
I thought the
reception is after.
The ceremony is first.
Ceremony.
Ceremony.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that. I just thought wedding. So to answer your question, I thought, oh yeah, in the parents' backyard, and that's it. She's like, yeah, but where are we gonna, like, that's gonna be for the reception or something. I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
So okay, the ceremony is essentially where you say your vows, you take the pictures. That's where I guess the important people show up because that's like the moment that, oh, you make us the bride and then the fucking things. Yeah. So that's the ceremony when you have the music and you're walking the aisle. Very elegant, very formal. the reception is where everyone parties. Now, there's a cocktail hour in between, which is essentially where everyone transitions. You take a couple pictures, privately. Everyone's then getting ready to go to okay, I'm glad. So I didn't know this.
Yeah.
So then I think we're planning on doing the ceremony somewhere and then the reception in the parents' house.
Okay.
And I think, I really don't know. I think that's something to discuss a little down the road.
Because
but
now
they're looking for
because now that you're mentioning it, I dare say it makes sense because having both and just in the backyard might not be feasible, depending how many people are going to be there. Because then, because it's only certain. I mean, that's a big backyard, but it's also not a fucking, 10 acres either. So
no, but you would be surprised. They could fit a lot of people. When they did Christina's grandfather's 90th birthday, there was at least 100 people in the backyard.
Oh wow, okay.
And it was still space, like surprising. Because remember, you have a lot of people that are going to be like by the pool area.
By the pool,
it's like where the bar is.
Yeah, the bar.
And then you have all the whole backyard. And even then, depending on the time, you have the golf course in the back. You can open it up and kind of just chill out there. You can't really like walk around out there and go out to the green. But if you want to then just kind of peek outside, you have that little extra space back there to kind of just like
I see. I'm
walk.
Following.
Not really hang out. You can't set up tables or anything. At least we're trying to figure out if we can. But I doubt it. So, but you do have like at least a little bit of freedom back there. So you do have the space. You do have the space.
Fucking knocked out my golf ball.
You do have the space, but
okay,
that's kind of
that's something. So okay, so
but if I may, this is kind of where we're figuring out what the cost is because it may actually make more sense, believe it or not, to do everything at a venue where everything is included than to get everything and rent everything individually in your backyard. So, give you an example: tables, lights, vendors for food. Which I mean, we have hookups and certain things.
Yeah.
But lights, DJ, the lighting and the flowers, like all that. So there's certain venues that might have everything.
Etc. Yeah. I guess they might
pay a little bit of you pay a high fee, but may even come out more efficient than cost efficient.
Or it might just be if it's only like I don't know 10, 15 grand more, but you're saving yourself a huge amount of headache and work and that logistical things. 10 grand is really sweating over when you do a number. It has to make sense for
correct, which is where we're going to be discussing that.
Okay.
Because a big thing for me is also my parents are a little bit older, so they can't really travel. I mean, they probably could, but it's kind of tough for them. They haven't traveled in a long time. And then walking, getting on a plane and shit, or like having to get in a car for long distances, like. Yeah, so we could do something that exactly. Yeah, so I would prefer something local, which in Miami is not cheap. It's expensive. Everything's expensive, especially in Miami. So I don't know what we're gonna do or how we're gonna do it, but I do want a local because I know it'll be easier for my family to be involved. And it's funny. She even asked me. She goes, "Yeah, but do you think your family's gonna want to go to the wedding?" I'm like, "Bro, like I'm the youngest. I'm the only one. If anything, they will make a sacrifice to show up to this. So yeah, like it should be local." Because she had said something like, "Oh, we can then go." Travel somewhere. Like imagine if we went to Joshua Tree and we had like a ceremony there, small, like with my family. And I'm like, dude, I love your family, but what about mine? Like, fuck you. Like my family needs to be there too. Oh, do you think they're even gonna care about it? I'm like, hello, of course they're gonna get me, dude. It's the only person, So things like that where we have to make certain sacrifices, but those are part of the conversations. And we're only very early into it. I'll give you another example. I was talking to some girl that I was training and she goes to me, oh, like I was planning on getting flowers, right? Like we were talking with the vendor for flowers of what, how we're going to set it up. And then the silverware and the plates, what color that's going to be. And when I was talking to the person about the flowers, the first question that they asked me is, what color are your chairs? And she's like, my chairs? She goes, yeah, what color are your chairs? She goes, I didn't know I was supposed to know that. Does it matter? And they're like, of course you need to know what color the chairs are. Like, that's how we're going to be doing the centerpiece with the flower. And she's like, oh my God. So it's like, think of the smallest detail.
Yeah.
We're not there yet.
Yes.
So I'm assuming we're going to cross that bridge where we're going to be fucking panicking and freaking out. But as of now, we're just in the very green, early mapping stage of how everything's going to work.
Yeah, very preliminary. I mean, if you have time, you guys have, which is why they say what about a year of planning and logistical things.
Have you ever like had that conversation with Claudia of like what your dream? I don't want to say dream, but what a realistic type of wedding for you guys would look like?
Not really, man. To be honest, having an actual wedding is to.
Because you're a little bit more traditional too, so I don't know how you stand on.
I don't really care about
Oh, you said
any of it.
eloping.
Yeah, we'll elope. We would love to have something small.
She's
something
on board with
intimate.
that?
Yeah, she is. She is. It's just she would want her family around. I think her aunt she would want her aunt to officiate us and stuff like that. So, which, God willing,
But
that
if the aunt goes, then the rest of the family wants to go too.
yeah, it would have to be. Well, the thing is, so she has family and like somebody. There's might be space to do it at somebody's house or whatever the fuck. I don't know. We'll have to see. But it's definitely not gonna be in your direction where you guys are
You don't know that.
looking at the. I do because we don't have anybody to pay for it. So
True.
yeah,
Loans, dude.
no, I'm not happening. Not happening at all. So I mean, we'll figure it out. Realistically, do you have a number budget in mind that could be talked about?
It's funny because between her and I,
30
before
grand.
we talked about, listen, 15 is my cutoff. We do something super simple. I don't want anything fancy. But knowing her family and dude, like the first when I told her mom, like when she got the ring or whatever, she had we went the day after to like celebrate with her family, and she's like, "Oh my God, we should go to this super famous like bridal gown store in New York that's like super famous, and we should go. We should make a girls trip out of it." And and I saw this this venue in Coral Gables. Like, I'm just gonna call to see what they're gonna charge us. And I was telling this to someone from Zoom, the gym, and he's like, "You're telling me that you want to have a simple sort of little wedding, and your mother-in-law saying that she wants to go to New York to this famous place?
Yeah.
Like, did I just hear that correctly? Like, you think it's gonna be?" So at this point, it's like we had said one number. I don't know.
Yeah.
Her family's big, and they can be a little extra, especially her
Okay.
mother. So
Okay.
I can expect. I don't think it's gonna be as simple as I would like for it to be.
No, for sure, for
But
sure.
we'll find a happy medium
I think down the line we'll probably talk more about it as you have more information and we'll discuss.
Yeah, this is like my therapy session, so I have
I
to
like
vent
it.
somewhere.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm glad
yeah.
it's with you guys. Thank you for
I love
listening.
that. I love that. I guess. I mean, I'm glad we got to talk about it a little bit. I know we started off with there's a video that we saw and then kind of transitioned to marriage,
Sure.
et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I guess. Anything else you want to add to that or
No,
close off?
I would say, let me see. Show me. I go, send me the Pinterest post of the lemons on the table. She's like, no, don't go talking about that and embarrassing me on your podcast. I'm serious.
Too late.
Oops. Well, no, that I think is everything for today. Wish me luck, because now it seems like I'm gonna get in trouble. But
It's the price of
getting
some good
married?
content.
Is this going on the podcast?
That being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. You know, if you guys have any advice to Chris, please feel free to let him know. But
Yeah, and you know what's something that I would like to question? Newlyweds. What is something that you wish you could change from your marriage, from your wedding? So whatever setup was there in the wedding, anything,
okay,
from
hindsight.
the tables, the chairs, the dress, I saw a post that they're like, listen, all those details that you care about, like for example, the font that you put on the writing on the tables and stuff, no one's gonna care. They care about the food, being comfortable, having fun. So what are some things that you've learned are like, we fucked up, we did the wrong thing, that you wish you could change from your wedding? Let us know, comment down below.
that's a great way of closing off.
You gonna clip that?
Yes. That being said, see you guys.
Later, y'all. Wish
Ciao.
me luck. Bye.